So hello, welcome back to the next round of the Turntable's favorites. Really like that format to talk to you about my listening experience of the last weeks, what's going around on the turntable. I like it. I hope you too. And this video we do today is a little influenced by a visit I got, because I took out 2 records for that visitor, quite some interesting records. I see what you think about that. Yeah, come on, let's start. Let's start with the favorites of the last week. As you know, as I told you in the first installment, these are not all the albums I've heard within the last week. Those are the albums which get me into a deeper impression, which I would like to talk about, and are not related to, or listenings that are not related to videos I do, or the needle drops I've done in the last week. Those are solely listenings for pleasure, records I would like to hear and now share my opinion. One record I really love, and especially in edition I really love, is this one. It's Bob Dylan's Blood on the Tracks. I have here the Mofi One Step. Fantastic album. One, maybe at the moment, the Bob Dylan album to me, and the pressing and the mastering on this great silent vinyl is outstanding. I think I know that it is out of print, but to my knowledge, you can get copies for an almost reasonable price. So if you consider it, now is still the time to get into it. I think this release, this Blood on the Tracks from Mofi, the one-step version, will only know one direction when it comes to the price you have to pay for it. Another iconic listening this week was Drab Majesty. Here you have Drab Majesty. Yeah, and the guy does music that suits his looks. New wavy 80s, beautiful minimalistic music from Drab Majesty. This release came out on, I think, the Dice label. The Dice label, on colored, on white vinyl with beautiful inner sleeves, nice package, nice release overall, good music, very 80s, very 80s, but a very nice listening if you are into these kind of new wavy bands, new wavy music. Drab Majesty, the album is called Modern Mirror. Quite the opposite, a little earlier. And of course, as a VC channel today, you need prog rock. But I listened to this week. I listened to King Crimson, and this is my edition out of the Steven Wilson box set. Tja, what can I say about these release, this mastering? I like it. The album is iconic, is fantastic. The music is really fantastic. I'm not much of a prog head, but this album and the other earlier King Crimson release, I really like. I really like this album, but I can't say that this is a good sounding copy, that this is flat, silent, good vinyl, beautiful listening, but I can't compare it to other releases, for example, the original, I haven't heard it. So I just can say this is alright. This is from Steve Wilson, and I know when it comes to Steve Wilson, you always have a little Steve Wilson in this mastering, but how much I can't tell you. But probably you, one of the viewers, can tell me, is this a decent mastering? Are the King Crimson fans happy with this release? For me it's okay. I can imagine that there is more into it, and if you get one of the visits and let them do it from the original tapes, it probably can be better, but help me out here, how is it? And then I got back into one of my favorite tone poets. One of my favorite tone poets so far. It's a very new one. It's Bass on Top. And still, it's a fantastic jazz record. Again, great mastering from Kevin Gray. Beautiful, the usual beautiful tone poet package. We here have Kenny Burrell on guitar, Hank Jones on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, Art Taylor on drums. Very special. Great jazz record. If you haven't gotten into it, give it a try. You may like it. It's fantastic album. And then now comes the two albums I put out for my visitor. Here we haven't seen us for around 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. And of course, I was happy and pleased and proud to present him now the new configuration. A lot has changed in my equipment, but he is but he is into classic rock, and we listened to 2 albums. One of them was Tommy from The Who. Great cover, and I am proud and pleased to have the Classic Records edition, which now goes for over 500 euros. Unbelievable. The price went up so much. I remember when I talked to Mazzy, Norman Maslop, really liked this edition. And I remember he hasn't, after that edition, he has an original, I think. Of course he has an original, but somehow he wanted to try out this one, and he got it, and I think he got it for around $300, a completely mint original packed copy, which was not so good. I'll tell you later now why that wasn't so good. And that is not long ago, 2 months, 3 months, so the price really went up. What was the problem with Mazzy's copy? His problem was that he got an sealed one, mint sealed edition, which usually is a very good thing. But when it comes to this Classic Records, better get near mint, opened ones, because at the end they really had some trouble with their pressings, and Mazzy got a bit unlucky. He has a spot at the first track for around 5 spins, and you can't do anything because it was packed. If you buy a near mint, this won't happen to you. So this was one of our listening, the fantastic release of Tommy from The Who. Gorgeous one. Another one we've listened to, again, I have a Classic Records mastered edition, Led Zeppelin 2, and it was fantastic. Again, these Classic Records releases from Led Zeppelin. I have the 200 gram vinyls, SX Quiet SVUP or something like that vinyl. Fantastic, really great. There are even, probably you know, those single-sided 45 round per minute editions out there. The box is around $20,000 now, but you also can get them as single editions, which are pricey, but okay if you are really into them. And I really am happy that I bought them early enough so that I can say that I'm complete on my Led Zeppelin Classic Records part, and we'll listen to this beautiful recording, fantastic, really fantastic listening. Another great listening from on the electronic, avant-garde electronic part is this release from 2020. It's Beatrice Dylan on white vinyl. Here we have this abstract dub techno, very interesting release, one of my favorite electronic releases from 2020. The album itself is it's called Workaround, and this is a later re-release because those things are so gone so fast, because they're only doing 200 copies sometimes, and those copies are really gone fast. So this is a very interesting listen, and probably gets a little needle drop sometimes. Very nice, very interesting listening. Another one I got into the last week was Fiona Apple, Tidal. Now my personal queen of art pop. Beautiful, beautiful album. This is the Vinyl Me Please release, which everybody can order over at Vinyl Me Please. You don't have to be a subscriber. And these Fiona Apple albums are sometimes really tough to get on vinyl. I think some of them hasn't been out there on vinyl for years, and now Vinyl Me Please had put them out, and here is the chance to get into, or to get a really great artist, fantastic musician, this Fiona Apple. I think 5 of her albums are out there, 4 or 5. Highly recommended, beautiful pressings, great. Fiona Apple, Tidal. Of course, we need more Blue Note, and here we have it. Dexter Gordon, Getting Around the Music Matters edition on 35 RPM, 2 vinyl edition. Fantastic album. I really, really love the first 2 titles, Männer de Carnaval and Who Can I Turn To. Fantastic, mellow, calm, beautiful, beautiful jazz music by Dexter Gordon on tenor sax. Bobby Hutcherson, yeah, great one. Bobby Hutcherson on the vibes. Barry Harris on piano, Bob Crenshaw on bass, Bill Higgins on the drums. Fantastic. I don't know if it gets a classic. I think not in the first batch. No, this one I'm quite sure is not within the first batch of the classic releases from Blue Note. Then a classical release I fell in love with again this week, and this is from the ERC, one of their earlier releases. I think it's their 11th or 12th release, and it's difficult to pronounce the Spanish name, Magda Tagliaferro, and she plays Albanese, Grandos, De Falla and Villa-Lobos. This recording is from, let me please have a look, I think 1950. I'm quite sure it was 1950. From EMI. Beautiful, beautiful classical album. Piano music, finest music. I'm so happy that I have this one, beautiful one. Not much talked about, by the way. Then I listened to a legend, or the legendary Sun House. Analog production, 45 RPM, fantastic, fantastic release, and great that Analog Projections Chatcasting put out this one. Fantastic listening. A man with his guitar and nothing more, and you don't need anything more than Sun House and his guitar. Iconic, heartwarming, beautiful, great one, really great one. Another analog production, by the way, I see now. I listen to Oscar Peterson Trio, West Side Story. This came out in the Verve series. It's still available, I'm quite sure, 45 RPM, and fantastic, fantastic music, gorgeous interpretation from Oscar Peterson, and of course once more a fantastic iconic mastering from Analog Productions. Came out in 2013, I think, but again still available on vinyl if you're into that kind of music, and I guess you are. Try it out if you haven't already. Neil Young, Storytone, double album. Fantastic, fantastic. Really, really hard to get. Really hard to get. Beautiful cover work, gorgeous booklet inside. This album got a fantastic treatment, and it's on 2 vinyls, and every song has 2 interpretations. On one vinyl you have Neil Young and his guitar or piano, and the second version on the other vinyl is heavily instrumented, sometimes with orchestra and very bombastic. Great experience, a great recording. Gorgeous one from Neil Young, Storytone, but I think quite hard to get nowadays. And now 2 releases, and then we are through to Sam Records, Barney Willen Quintet and the Chet Baker Quartet, and those 2 releases are from Sam Records. I've talked quite some about Sam Records. Again, these 2 iconic, beautiful audiophile releases pressed over at Palace here in Germany are gorgeous ones. And those Sam Records nowadays are gone fast. But a lot of those who hasn't been available for quite some time will get a repress in April. I saw that when I've gone over to their website and ordered the new release, which comes out in the next days, and I saw that at least 5 or 6, amongst them these Chet Bakers, get repressed in April. So you can get them now again, and you know, this label, this one-man show, by the way, works so precise. He said this is a second pressing. On the cover you will see you have a second pressing. Doesn't matter, it's great, don't be afraid, but it's a second pressing. He talks about that, he shows that, he's very transparent with this kind of stuff. And maybe even if you're in the US, consider ordering it over at the website or at the web shop from Sam Records, because as I said, it's a one-man show. He puts out so beautiful albums, and support him. Of course you support him if you order them elsewhere, but if you order him directly from him, and the shipment is, I think, the same within Europe and US, I'm not sure, but I think so, you support him even more, and he really deserves our support, I think, for his fantastic work within the last years. One of my favorite labels, the Sam Records. I will put a link to the shop. Maybe you consider it and buying it directly from him. Think about it. Okay, that's it for today, for the Turntable's favorites of last week. Hope you liked them. Let's discuss. Thank you for your time. See you. Bye.